everyone, and happy February. If you recall, we visited you last month to kick off the Picture Book Children's Choice Awards, and you probably remember us telling you that there were going to be 4 books in all, and that they were all going to be nonfiction titles, right? When we were there, we read the book, What Can You Do with a Rock? And we talked about lots of different things that you could do, and we talked about how rocks are everywhere, outside when you're taking a walk or you're in your backyard, right? And there's lots of things that are made out of rock. I enjoy painting rocks and, leaving them in special places for people to find. Or sometimes I'll paint rocks and then put them on my steps leading up to my front door. When we were there visiting, we of course played tic-tac-toe with rocks, and that was a fun activity as well. Well, today I'm here to introduce the second nonfiction title, which is called Hooray for DNA. What in the world is DNA? It stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid, that's a big, long, fancy, complicated word, isn't it? That's why it's much easier to say DNA. And DNA is a special little molecule that is found in our cells. And our cells are what make up our bodies, right? So every living thing is made up of cells. And inside those cells is the DNA. So let's talk about some things that are alive. A tree is a living thing, right? So a tree has DNA. What about a banana? Bananas grow on trees. So it's a living thing. So a banana too has DNA. So do all animals, chickens, ducks, cows, dogs, cats, chimpanzees, right? Now the interesting thing is we share a lot of the same DNA with those things that I just mentioned. Surprisingly, we have a lot of the same DNA found in a banana. I know, right? We have 98% of this shared DNA with a chimpanzee. 98% are the same. Now that's not so surprising, right? Because humans and chimps are a lot alike, if you think about it. We both have hair, hands and feet. They don't talk like we do, but they pick things up and they eat like we do, right? Chimps are smart like humans are. So there are a lot of similarities. Now, 98% of the shared DNA, but what is different is the order of that DNA, right? So we might have the same DNA, but the pattern is different. If you're going to imagine DNA in your head, right, if you want to picture it, I need you to picture it like a spiral staircase. That's what I consider it to look like. And that's what it looks like inside our cells, inside our bodies. That's a lot to think about. I know that's a lot of information. Let's read our story, Hooray for DNA, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. Hooray for DNA, how a bear and a bug are a lot like us. DNA is the ABC of what makes you, you, and what makes me, me. It's the set of instructions for all life's constructions, from a bird to a bee and a tree. What has 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, and a nose? Can you think of things that have all of those? And teeth, and fingers, and wiggly toes? We're all connected. That's just how it goes. DNA dwells in the heart of all cells. Building tissues and organs is where it excels. Without tissues and organs, you're just a big blob. And to make a whole person is DNA's job. It's our shared DNA that makes you part bear and a hoppity hare. It makes you a mammal, part llama and camel. It makes you part bat and a calico cat, a cougar, a crane, and a common gray cat. And the whole wacky lot of us, part hippopotamus. You, me, a bug, and even a virus have shared DNA hidden inside us. DNA builds life with 4 chemical bricks. It's all in the order that makes for the mix. With 4 colored Lego, you can build any shape. With DNA bricks, you can build a great ape. So do you remember, friends, when I said about like how we all have the shared DNA, we all have a lot of the same DNA, but it's the order or the pattern of that DNA that makes us different and that makes us unique? That's kind of what they're talking about here. And I think Legos is a great visualization for that, right? Think of 4 different colored Legos, let's say red, yellow, green, and blue. You can put those in many different orders, right? Patterns. If we were to build a tower of 10, probably mine and yours wouldn't look exactly the same, right? So it's the same thing if you can think of DNA as like 4 building blocks, 4 different colors. It's really quite funky. You're almost a monkey. Our shared DNA bricks make us related. The sequence is key for what is created. The same DNA is needed to make the spine inside you and the spine in a snake. It's our shared DNA that makes you part beagle and a soaring bald eagle. It makes you part moose and a kooky gray goose. A ferret, a parrot, a crunchy cashew. It's nutty that they share your DNA too. Right? Remember I said it's not so surprising to say that we have a lot of the shared same DNA as a chimpanzee. But it is kind of weird to think about us having the same DNA as a banana or a cashew or a virus, right? Yeah, but we do. And just for a laugh, you're part giraffe. We share many features with all living creatures. But there's one that's identical, less 0.1%ical. It's people, all humans. It's us, you and me. Our shared DNA makes us all family. Put aside language and culture and race. It's our DNA speck that gives you your face. A DNA speck gives you brown eyes or blue. A DNA speck gives your skin color too. Less 0.1%. We're almost exact. Almost DNA twins. And that's a DNA fact. DNA is the code to build all living things, from people to trees to birds with big wings. DNA makes me, me. DNA makes you, you, and a bear, and a bug, and all of us, too. Hip, hip, hooray for our shared DNA. And that's it. But in the back of this book, boys and girls, there's lots more to learn about and to read about, and they give you great websites to visit if you want to learn more information. So we're all more the same than we are different, right? But we are different and special and unique too. So when we talk about DNA, sometimes, DNA, we're born with it. And so some things are just in our genes. And I don't mean like the jeans that you wear, like your pants. That's Jeans. I'm talking about genes spelled Genes. So we're all born with these genes. Now I have dark, black, curly hair because I was just born with it. My dad had dark curly hair, so I do too. And we can say that's just part of our nature. Some people will say that we are how we are because of how we are nurtured. Nature versus nurture. Nurture just means how you were raised, right? In your surroundings and the things that you do growing up and your experiences. Most scientists will say that we are who we are because of both nature and nurture. Some things we are just born with, and some things we learn as we go. For today's activity, I found a fun chart online that talks about nature versus nurture. So it's a little quiz for you to take. And the first one says, what color is your hair? So I put black. Is that nature? Yes, I checked that box because I was born with black hair. I guess if I dyed it, I could change it, but otherwise my hair color doesn't change, right? What color would you paint your room? I chose sage green. I wasn't born liking the color green. It's just as I've, grown up, I found that green is a very calming color. So that's what color I would choose to paint my room today. Is that nature? No. That's just my preference based on things and experiences that I've had throughout my life. What color are your eyes? Mine are dark, dark brown. I was born with dark brown eyes. That's nature, so I checked that box. You get the idea, and you can talk more about it with your librarian, but I thought it'd be fun for you to take this quiz, to fill out the whole entire chart, answering questions about yourself, and then share that with your table mate or with your whole entire class, right? And see how many things you have in common and how many different ways you are different, okay? So nature versus nurture, all about our genes, genetics, DNA. I gave you a lot to think about today, but I hope you enjoyed learning these fun facts, and I hope you're enjoying our Picture Book Children's Choice Awards. This was book number 2, and we'll see you next month with book number 3. Have a great day, everyone.